the raising of the bar, it never stops. There's this never enoughness. And I've always known that. I've always had this never enoughness, and it's this drive that I have, but it also is my downfall because I can never sit and just be. Shh. Welcome to the Secret Life Podcast. Tell me your secret. I'll tell you mine. Sometimes you have to go through the darkness to reach the light. That's what I did. After 12 years of recovery in sex and love addiction, I finally found my soulmate, myself. Please join me in my novel, Secret Life of a Hollywood Sex and Love Addict, a 4-time bestseller on Amazon. It's a brutal, honest, raw, gnarly ride, but hilarious at the same time. Check it out now on Amazon. Welcome to Secret Life Podcast. I'm Brianne Davis-Gantt. Today I'm pulling back the curtains of all kinds of human secrets. We'll hear about what people are hiding from themselves or others. You know those deep, dark secrets you probably want to take to your grave? Or those lighter, funnier secrets that are just plain embarrassing. Join me each week as we take a deep dive into one subject matter, exploring the how, what, when, where, and why of it all. This is a new journey for Secret Life, and join the ride with me. Today we are talking about dun dun dun. Success does not equal happiness. No, sir, it doesn't, because if that was true, then all of my very successful, very, have their shit together clients would all be very, very happy. And that's not the case. So successful people doesn't mean they're happy people. Even myself, the height of my success was the height of my downfall. The height of my success when I got most successful before I went into recovery was the lowest point of my life. And I've showed a picture. I was on the red carpet for prom night, one of the big moments of my career, leading a film for a big studio, press everywhere, worldwide premiere on Sunset Boulevard. And I literally was fucking blowing up my life. Had money in the bank, had everything I wanted. And I was like, let's blow up my life, because internally I was empty. So you think when you get that thing, that amount of money, that success, that you are going to be happy. That is not true. Actually, when you get to that point, your life will feel even more empty. And here's what I always use this analogy with people that I work with. I said, I go to Beverly Hills a lot, right? And I go in these mansions or these people that have everything. I don't have to worry about anything. And their house looks so beautiful. And it's just like, you walk up to it and you're like, oh my God, this house is gorgeous. But you walk inside and it's like a hoarder's house, or it's shit, or there's dog shit everywhere and they're not taken care of, because internally that's what they fucking feel like. They feel like shit. So they create their beautiful house. Internally, they show what they feel like on the inside. So the outside could look so successful and beautiful, and the mask is beautiful, and they're walking outside and they look so good, but the inside is shit. It's not good. It's in turmoil. So they create that in these households. That's why I say some people are more comfortable on the street, especially if they're in their addiction and a chemical addiction. They're more comfortable living and sleeping on the street than in a nice, comfy bed. I even had one client literally tell me she was more comfortable sleeping on a park bench. A young 22-year-old, she was more comfortable sleeping on a park bench than in a house where she had a bed and she was safe. Her nervous system was more comfortable in that than being in growing and evolving and trying to get to success within herself. She was uncomfortable there. So when you think, when I get to this or get that, I will be happy. Not true. You have to be happy now with whatever and wherever you are in life now. because you are going to turn into one of those people. When you get it, the bar is going to be raised. And that's where Mark gives me a really hard time. My bar gets raised all the time. So I get to a certain level and then I raise the bar. And he's like, when is your bar going to stop hiring? Like, and I know that's a thing. I'm always striving. So it's like 1 book, 2 book, 3 book, more clients, more this, more that, more interviews, more this. I'm going to do a brick and mortar. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Like, that is just, I'm going to have a show, doing a reality show with what I teach and all this stuff. Like, that's what I'm now looking at. And Mark's like, when do you have time? Like, where does the bar stop? And I had to go, okay, why am I always striving? Well, because I feel like I have a lot to give, and I'm really proud of all the work I did and the things I have learned and studied and practiced myself and, and all those things. So I love what I do and love my purpose, and I'm always wanting to give it and share it, and it just gives me a life force. So that's one thing. But then the other thing is like the raising of the bar, it never stops. There's this never enoughness. And I've always known that. I've always had this never enoughness, and it's this drive that I have, but it also is my downfall because I can never sit and just be happy and enjoy. And I don't like the word happiness because I think that's like, we all strive for happiness, contentment, right? So I know that I, on a daily basis, have to ground myself and go, oh, this is so beautiful. Oh, this moment with my son, so lovely. Oh, this beautiful bed. Oh, this nice shower. Oh, this amazing session at 4 a.m. with my client, 6 a.m. with my client, and they're growing, and how I just get to be a part of these. And these are things that I can grab onto to be in my present day gratitude, right? I know that because if I don't do that, it's never enough. And I'm always striving. But here's the beautiful reminder, it's those Oscar winners. Those, they have everything and they jump off a bridge, or they are shooting ketamine in their hot tub when they have everything, and they're lying about their sobriety, and they're actually miserable. And so I'm really grateful I get to be in this recovery world where I see you can have everything and you can have nothing. So success outside success doesn't mean success to me anymore. Internal peace and serenity and connection to myself, then connection to others and God, is what success means to me. That's what brings me joy, not what society finds successful. Because if I gauge my happiness on outside shit, I'm fucked. If I gauge happiness on Mark's mood, I'm fucked. If I gauge happiness on Davis's mood, oh my God, I'm really fucked. If I gauge happiness on my client's growth, screwed. I'm screwed. I'll be on the floor crying every other session because I'm dealing with addicts, people with trauma, people with relationship trauma, people trying to get out of their attachment styles, attached to toxic people or narcissists. I literally would be on the floor being like, what am I doing? No, I can't attach myself to any of that being what success is about. Because if I do that, I'm literally grasping for air. So I'm going to ask you today, what do you consider success? Is it material shit? Because I'm telling you, the people I know have so much money and so much stuff, it means nothing to them anymore. It literally means nothing. I was talking to somebody that has a boat, bunch of houses, can literally get anything and go anywhere, and he's empty. He cannot have real intimacy with another because he doesn't have real intimacy with himself. He cannot even enjoy his own sexuality with himself. He doesn't have that capability, and that's tragic. And he doesn't even want to do the work to get to that. And it's so sad because he's such a beautiful soul and he's such a beautiful human being that he's not even allowing himself to sit in the uncomfortability to have real intimacy with self, then real intimacy with others, which what I consider successful because I'm an avoidant. So for me to be able to have real intimacy with myself and then others, that's success to me because the money can come and go. That's paper, that's currency, that's what people put value on. And that can be taken away from me. What can't be taken away is how I feel connected to another and connected to myself. That is what I do. So, what do you consider successful? I always thought having a house would make me feel successful, but I got to tell you, everybody that has a house is dealing with shit. Shit breaks constantly. You're behind on your mortgage. You need to, like, money's getting sucked into it. I mean, I saw a thing with a guy, he's like, I finally got a house with a pool. And he's like, and it's my worst nightmare. And it's like, that's not success. Getting a car, as soon as you pull it off the lot, it loses its value. It's like, what do you consider success? So that's my question of the day, because success does not equal happiness. Outside success does not equal happiness. And like I said, it feels like it's a never enoughness. So you need to, and this is what I needed to do. How I started is re-examining my relationship to money. What is the value I put on money? How much money can I have in savings to feel content? Never enough. Mark and I, we literally had a conversation, I think 4 years ago or 5 years ago. He's like, how much money would we have to have for you to feel secure? And I was like, Not enough money in the world." And that was something I had to work on. It was like never enoughness with money was something I had to look at, because I came from lack. I came from creditors calling the house, hiding cars, you know, bill being behind on bills. That was traumatic for me. I mean, still to this day, when I get a call on a phone, I think I owe money to a creditor, which I don't have any debt or credit card debt. It's crazy. I still get that panic feeling because we weren't allowed to pick up the phone when the phone was called. So examine your relationship with money. Ask yourself, what do I believe about the role money plays in my well-being? What triggers my anxiety about not having enough money? Do I compare my wealth to other people's wealth? Am I dissatisfied? Do I always want more? In what ways does money cause me to feel guilt, shame, inadequacy, self-importance? And how do I find defined enough money? How do I define having enough money? I had to do that work. Then, second, re-examine your relationship with achievement. So, when I got this series on A&E, right? 6, I got it. I was like, what? Made it. Yay. I got on a series for a couple of years. Emptiness. Emptiness. I remember sitting in Vancouver, season 2, feeling just empty. Like it didn't fill the thought, and I wanted to be a part of a family. Like it was this creative family and I wanted to be a part of it. And I realized it's because the family I came from wasn't healthy, it was dysfunctional. So I always wanted in the movie business and the film business to be a part of, to feel like a family. But the problem with the movie business is you do it for like a couple of months or a season, and then everybody leaves and moves on. And it's just this really intense intimacy, false intimacy, and everybody's creating the same thing and they get to know each other really quickly. And it's this love bombing, trauma bonding. It's so beautiful. I love the feeling. It's like falling in love with everybody on set or hating everybody, and there's drama and people are not doing their jobs. It's just the most intense, dysfunctional, functional, creative, amazing feeling. And then in a matter of people are getting showmances and people flirt, and it's just so beautiful and it's so toxic. The movie business is so toxic. And then everybody disperses and nobody talks to each other again. And maybe you'll keep a friend or two, but down the line, you just move to the next job and the next job and the next job. And it's constantly out of work and then back to work and out of work. And so it wasn't healthy. So I would put my achievement on the roles or the amount of money I made or moving up the ladder in the business or the interviews I got or any of that stuff. So re-examine your relationship with achievement. What does that look like? So here are some questions. Do I neglect key relationships in my life? My husband, my spouse, family, friends to pursue success? Did that. I did that a lot. Have I sacrificed my health, rest, diet, mental well-being? Do you skip therapy to achieve success? Do you make excuses? Oh, I have this meeting, I can't go to therapy. That kind of thing. That happens a lot. Do I feel disillusioned or resentful when I fall short of my goals? Do you get like really hard on yourself when you don't meet a goal? When is the last time I felt a sense of playfulness about my work or had just sheer joy about my work? Do I compare my achievements to others, and begrudge their success? Right. And lastly, how have I defined enough in achievements? And then you re-examine your relationship with recognition and status. That is that validation, that need for attention, people telling you how wonderful the followers you like. A lot of social media people I work with, they like have to get a certain number of likes or they don't make the money. And so they really put their achievements and status and recognition, and being on film and television. When you go to signings, how many people do you have like in your line to sign? It's just ridiculous. All of it is a bunch of hogwash. But the point is, we put a lot of like your status, where you are in the company, all of that. So here are the questions you ask yourself. In what way do I regularly seek out recognition from important people? Your boss. Do you ask your boss for compliments? Are you waiting for your boss to give you a compliment? Or the writers or whoever you're dealing with to give you compliments, the people above you? Do I spend excess time monitoring my status on social media? Do you check your fucking likes or comments? Don't do it. It's empty. Don't do it. I don't do it. Do I resent it when others get recognized? I feel I should deserve it. If somebody says, oh, blah, 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 you did so great. Do you feel like you should get that? Do I privately question how much I'm loved, by a person, a specific person, or just in general? Do you not feel like you're getting enough love and attention? Do I try to manipulate conversations, name drop, brag? I know somebody in a company that does that a lot. It is so fucking annoying to hear someone name drop and one ups to impress other people. And I look at that person, I'm like, oh, yeah, ooh, self esteem. Because I used to do shit like that. I would one up. I did that like 20 years ago. So I recognize it in others. And lastly, how have I defined enough recognition and status in my own life? So those are the things. And then you look at all those questions you filled out and you have to shift. We have to shift from comparison to compassion with self, to compassion where, okay, so here's where I want to go, but here's where I am. And I can't compare and I have to have compassion because I'm on my journey and I'm not where others are. Shift from counting to how you are contributing. So stop counting as scorekeeping and see, where am I contributing? Where am I making this better? So then we shift to contentment to connection. That's a huge one for me. Contentment, like dopamine hits or feeling anxious and bitter, like highs and lows, right? That's how I would feel. I would get really high and then I go to contentment and bitter and anxious and sad and in the future and fear and all that stuff. And then I just go, okay, I need to connect. I need to connect to other people because that gets me out of my shit. So those things really helped me find and redefine what success means for me because I so long used success as what outside shit is, what I had, how much money I made, where my status was, where I was on oh my God, I hate the stupid call sheets as actors before, or how good my book is doing, or how many people read my articles, or how many reviews I'm getting on my book. I mean, I would just compare everything and it would drain all the joy and the happiness out of my life and take away all the hard work I've done on myself. So I really had to stay connected to myself, to my higher power, and to others. So I'm asking you, how do you define success? How do you want to live a life moving forward and make success more balanced so you can find joy and happiness and be in a better place and be present with yourself and really take in those small little things that make life worth fucking living? Thank you for listening to Secret Life Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope it helped you. Send me questions, comments to secretlifepodcast@icloud.com. Until next time. Thanks again for listening to the show. Please subscribe, rate, share, or send me a note at secretlifepodcast.com. And if you like to check out my book, head over to secretlifenovel.com or Amazon to pick up a copy for yourself or someone you love. Thanks again. See you soon.